Hey guys, welcome to our headstand class. For this class, you'll need a wall. So set up your mat next to a wall, and if you have a block, set up with a block as well, just in case we end up using it. If you don't have one, no worries. When you're ready, I'll meet you back on the mat. So notice the way you're sitting right now. Notice the way your body is stacked, aligned in space. Most likely, your shoulders are probably somewhere over your hips. When we are well aligned, our shoulders are somewhere in a line on top of our hips. If you're slouching and you notice that your shoulders are coming forward, see if you can sit up a little bit taller and feel for the collarbones widening, the shoulders stacking directly on top of your hips. When we're shifting upside down, for this class, when we're shifting into a headstand, as much as possible, we're trying to keep this same principle. So even though what we're going to be doing may be very new for you, if you've never done a headstand before, it might be quite new, the principle stays the same though. Just like you probably know that you shouldn't sit all day slouching forward like this, right? You don't want to be standing and sitting like this all day. Most people know that this isn't the best. We know that our spine, the health of our spine improves, even our mental capacity improves when we're able to align ourselves in a straight position. So same thing when we're turning upside down. We really want to be able to stack our body in a way that is natural and makes sense. We will not be able to stand on our head or on our hands or forearms if we don't yet have the understanding of correct posture when sitting right way up or standing up. So as a part of this series, I'd really like to encourage you when you're sitting down to sit up straight, to pull your navel in, to magnetize the hip bones towards each other so you're really coming to the center line of the body. And this work that you do outside of your inversion time is really going to show up on the mat when you're ready to turn upside down as well. When it comes to headstands, not so much of our weight is on our head. A lot of the work is actually in our shoulders, right? It's going to be, the weight is actually placed on the arms, on the shoulders. A lot of the work is in our shoulders, and as we progress into forearm stands and into handstands, you'll notice more and more how much goes into the shoulders, just how strong and engaged the shoulders have to be. So to start, we're going to just come into a sort of modified tabletop position. So you're going to lower down to your elbows. And notice that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Legs can be touching or they can be hips width apart, whatever is better for you. The first headstand that we're going to be talking about is a supported headstand with a basket grip. So just like your normal headstand, okay, your go-to headstand. Now to make sure that our elbows are in the right place, please go ahead and make sure just when you're touching your opposite arm, you're touching all the way to the outside of the arm. So the elbows are a little closer than you think. Okay, now go ahead and interlace the fingers again. So we're making a little basket. And I want you to really push into the elbows so you feel yourself rising up away from the floor. Similar to what we did in our warm-up. On the inhale, push away. On the exhale, let yourself release and drop. Good. Inhale, push away. And on the exhale, let yourself release and drop into the joints. Inhale, press away. So we're protracting the scapula. And exhale, release. Inhale, push away. And exhale, release. Inhale, press away. Good. Hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So already we can feel a little bit of heat in the arms and the shoulders. The more weight we're going to bring into the shoulders, the more you're going to feel them, right? So for example, see if you can lift your hips up a little bit, almost like a mini down dog. Keep working the elbows in towards each other. Inhale, push away. Exhale, release the weight of your body onto your shoulders. Inhale, press the floor away with your elbows. Press away from the shoulders. And exhale, release. Inhale, push away. And exhale, release. Inhale, push away. Exhale, release. Inhale, push away and hold. 5, belly in. 4, ribs in, pelvic floor lifts. 3, 2, 1. Good. Lower the knees to the floor. Keep the same grip in the arms. Take a look at your elbows and make sure they haven't separated too wide. George, bring your arms a little closer together. Your elbows a little closer together. This is probably happening at home too. We really want to make sure that our elbows are not widening. Then when we do this, we can no longer stack ourselves in the best way. So we really want to make sure elbows are directly underneath the shoulders, and even bring them closer than you think, because they have the tendency over time to open. The longer we hold this shape, the more they tend to open. So we really want to have them quite close together. Okay, go ahead and sit back down for a moment. Where is the weight on the head? This is a very common question, right? Where does the weight, where is the placement of the head on the mat? We definitely don't want the weight to be on the rounded, the head is round, but we definitely don't want to put the pressure on top of the forehead, right? Or behind the head. Either one of these places we're not aligning to center. And we can either roll forward, placing too much weight in front, or roll onto the back of the head if the weight is too far back. Where we want to be is kind of like where you would have, I like to think of it this way, where you would have your tiara. Imagine you're wearing a tiara. Where it falls, or even headphones, if you have headphones, if you prefer that image, it's right at the flat part of your head. And when you try this, guys, push onto your head, the flat part of your head. And you can try this at home too. You can see that if you're well aligned, your shoulders are over the hips, try and close the ribs and pull your navel in, lift up through the top of the head and press down on it. You can see that it's quite comfortable, right? It doesn't feel, right? It doesn't feel like there's anything, if you were to push the point of your forehead, there would be a different sensation, yeah? So pressing onto the top of the head when we're well aligned, it feels quite sustainable. There should be very little sensation. This is the part of the head that we want to have touching the mat. This is the part of the head that we're going to be balancing on. We have to make sure that while we're balancing on our head, we are never collapsing into our shoulders. So hopefully we got the idea, right, of collapsing into the shoulder joints and pressing away from them. We don't want to collapse. We do want to use our elbows, the strength of our shoulders and arms to press away. So there's very little weight, actually, on our heads. So let's give this a try again. Come into your position, elbows underneath the shoulders, never too wide. So when you try to find the alignment, really hold for opposite, not just opposite elbows, but all the way around the arm. So it's smaller than you think. And then interlace your fingers, come into the basket grip, and we're going to place the flat part, the top part of the head down on the mat. The basket grip is going to support the back of the head, right? Go ahead and give that a try. And then use your same pressing away action with your shoulders, with your elbows, push the floor away. You'll notice that there isn't much weight on the head, right? So go ahead, pressing the floor away, inhale, and on the exhale, bring yourself hips towards the heels. Look forward. We're gonna do that a few times just to get the idea. Inhale, top of the head to the floor. Exhale, sit the hips back towards the heels. Inhale, top of the head to the mat. Press the arms away, shoulders away, and lower down. Last time like that, top of the head to the mat. and pressing the floor away. Stay here, curl your toes under, and see if you can lift your hips up. So you're kind of in a similar position to a dolphin pose, except that we have our head onto the floor. Notice if you're starting to collapse into your shoulders. See if you can push the floor away. Feel the connection to the pelvic floor. Feel the vacuuming of the belly back towards the spine, the ribs in. From here, see if you can take little steps forward. Look at your toes. See if you can walk your toes a little bit further forward. Our goal is to try and align our hips on top of our shoulders. Good, stay there.